Saturday the 14th of September. Opening day of deer season. It's too hot for me to go. I mean, if I want to go, all I gotta do is walk about 50 yards and get my stand and hunt, but it's too hot. So anyway, for the new subscribers that may or may not know that I got a contest going on. For when I reach 50 subscribers, I'm going to give away a center scribe for you blades, for making blades. Now, I have one I've been using for years that I made. I made this one, and I can make more if somebody wants to purchase one, anything like that. I'm going to try to set up an Etsy store if I can one day when I figure it out. I'm not super tech savvy, but anyway, this right here will go once I get 50 subscribers whose information or name that I can get a hold of in my list of them. I will have my granddaughter, I'll pick a number, just a random number, and let her do that. Let her pick that. So I mean, I could use a random number generator, but hey, let my granddaughter do it. So anyway, so maybe one of these days she'll learn how to make these knives if I can get her to pay attention long enough. But this right here is on for the 50 subscriber. Now, once I get to probably 150, possibly 200, I have a little knife. I have cut this sheath down. I do not make sheaths. I'm not that good at it, except for the Kydex, which I'm still not great at them, but it's better than Leatherworks. So I buy them and try to modify them as much as I can. Anyway, let's say 150 to 200. Right here is a little bird and trout knife. Right there. Little DBK. It's $10.95 also. Jimping on the back. It's got African cherry spacer behind, a brass finger guard. This is an elk antler. Okay. With another piece of African cherry with a brass cap, brass pommel. I made everything. I mean, spacer, the caps, the guard, the pommel cap, everything. That fits your hand real good. This one does. It feels really good. I had a little blade, and I decided I'd put it on a little bit bigger handle so that you could get in there and work with it. Like I said, it's dull as a fro right now because I hadn't sharpened it. And I used to sharpen all of them on these. They're red, yellow, and blue. I thought they was Smiths, but they're not. And I want to admit that, clear this mistake up, even though I did post it a long time ago. These are not. These are from Harbor Freight. I got these given to me, so I thought they were Smiths. Couldn't remember the packaging. But anyway, I got them and used them and still use them on occasion, and I use them mainly for sanding. They're good firm plastic and the steel on it helps hold it down so you can hand sand on the knife blade like that. Now, what I use now is one of these honking babies. Yeah, they sold them down at the Blade Show, but I already bought mine. I forget the name of the company right off. And anyway, they was down at that when I was getting stuff at the Blade Show this year at Atlanta. See, this is the 300 grit side. The diamond shapes in it. Now they changed these for this year. On the 1,000 grit side, it's smooth. It don't have these diamonds in there, and I wish this one did. I said, if you catch an edge right there, the way I sharpen, you can flatten it out a little bit when the knife falls off in them grooves right there. I'm learning more about using this. Like I said, I hadn't made a whole lot of knives in a while since my hand's been goofed up. But this is a good stone. These are really, I mean, they're expensive. I think I give like $80 for this, but it'll outlast me. Should. And if you drop it, you better have safety toes on, because it's hefty. It's a 3x8 by 5/16 thick chunk of steel that these diamonds has been, I think, electrochemically bonded to this, then eroded away. They put them in there and then they cover them up completely with metal, and they do something to erode them. But anyway, I don't know a whole lot about it. I just know it works. So that's what I use now. And to smooth it up, I use a piece of leather. Now, this is not just ordinary leather. This is not. Ordinary leather you would think is cow. This is not cow. This doesn't shrink much, and it don't expand much. It's pretty dense. This is equine leather. Equine, horse. And so I don't know how many horses they slaughter every year. I don't know, and I don't know where it comes from, but I do know that they do this. They've got leather pieces like this, and the bespoke shoes, the custom shoes that started about $3,000 and going up, they're made out of equine leather. Equine don't crease it like the cow leather, and it's expensive. This piece right here, I've used very little off of it. I think this piece right here cost me $12. You know, so anyway, that's neither here nor there, but that's what I'm using. Oh, and one more thing. I've done a, where'd it go? There it is. I've done a video on the swag that I picked up at the Blade Show, and I want to take something back. I really do. I hate that I endorsed them, even though I got nothing off of them or anything else like that. But I'm gonna take my endorsement of these back. These Milner Hoffman drills. They're saying they had a hex shaft on them, and they look identical to a everyday ordinary masonry bit. Okay, they're not. They're grounded. The carbide on the end of them is ground to 118 degrees, and then used. And it comes with a thing in there that tells you not to use them in cordless drills, to use them at high RPM, to use fluids and everything else. The first hole I tried with 1/8 of an inch, burnt the tip plumb off of it. Finished it with the 3/32, chipped it. This is in hardened steel. It was 1095, but it was hard. I hardened the tang, and stupid me forgot to drill the holes in it first. It's one of the reasons I wanted these, in case I screw up and forget holes. Okay. The 1/8 inch never made it through the 1095 blank. That is, what is it? It's 5/32 or 7/32. Yeah, one of them. I don't remember what the knife was now, but anyway, it chewed it all to pieces, mushroomed it out. I finished it with the 3/32. It chipped. I didn't notice it because it was a little bitty bit till I got my old spectacles there, the magnifiers are the little loops that hang down off your head. Anyway, I seen that was chipped. So I called them, and or I'd done it on email, and they said, okay, not a problem. So they sent me a new 1/8. Okay. The 1/4 inch. I tried to finish a hole with a 1/4 inch. It broke. So, right there on my drill press, trusty little drill press right there, in the same handle blank, it broke. It never made it a hole. The 1/8 never made it a hole. 3/32 made it a third of a hole. I used the 5/32 in there here a while back, a few days ago. Now don't get me wrong, they sent me 2 new bits, like a new 1/4 and a new 1/8, and it tells you plainly on here in the paperwork, or even on this. I don't know if you can see this or not. It says designed in Tennessee, made in China. Okay. Every one of them that I tried broke, and I never got more than one. I got one and about a third holes with the 5/32. Had to take my truck bed off, and the flag on top of it was bent so bad that I couldn't hold it down. I couldn't get no tools in there to hold it, so I couldn't take the nut off. It just spin. So my only option was to drill the nut off, and that's what these hardened drill bits was for. I got one hole out with the 5/32 and a third with the other, third of it, and that was it. Then I had to chisel them off after that. Now, that's the only one I'd done like that, because it's the only one. There's always one in the crowd. But this right here, they sell for $75 on their website. They sold for $53, tax and all, at the Blade Show. I sent them. Once I'd done that, I sent every one of them back in the package. I paid to send these back to these people. I paid. I've not heard from them anything. Not got any money back or anything. It's been a couple of weeks ago. I give them a letter saying how disappointed I was in them, and clearly that the bit that they was using at the showroom, at the Blade Show, was not what was. They didn't just open a pack of these and reach and get one. No. The one they got must have been made at their facilities in Nashville, because I watched him doing all kinds of torture with it. Watched him drill a hole in a file. Now, I didn't ask you. I don't know if they annealed the file and didn't tell anybody that it was annealed. I don't know. But these are highly disappointing, and that's, to me, they're a waste of money. Yeah, if you want a drill bit for one hole, maybe, or you can just go to masonry, go to Ace Hardware or somewhere like that, Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever, and you pick up some really good masonry bits. They make some real good percussion bits for the like Hilti drills and stuff like that, and you can regrind the tip of them to 118 degrees, and just do it slow so you don't overheat the carbide. If you don't overheat the carbide, then it'd be fine. Then you can do that. That's what I'm going to do. But anyway, I rant over about these. If somebody's went out and bought these on my recommendation, I apologize to you. I really do. And maybe this was a bad set. I don't know. But I'm telling you, it says designed in Nashville, Tennessee, manufactured in Sichuan, China, wherever that is. I'm sure that's somewhere where they get this. That's where they put the Chinesium steel in it. It ain't worth a flip to me. So anyway, with that, I guess just other than letting you know that I'm alive and back to starting to do a little something right now, and like I said, I'm going to set up an Etsy store and maybe put couple of survival knives on there, and maybe another one or two. I've got this one right here that I'm going to buff up again and really sharpen on it good. It's got the oil on it, but it's been in the case for a little bit too long for my liking, and I'll just buff it up a little bit there. It's kind of a it's not a mirror polish, it's just a satin, but it does have the Hamon on it. You know, forgive it, it's dirty. Should have cleaned it, I guess, a little better. Okay, like that. You can see the Hamon line in it right there. When it's buffed up, everything. Got the DBK with a little dog bone tri-tooth right there. Okay, it's 1095 steel. High carbon steel. It's got jimping on it. I put a Damascus finger guard on it, a little bit of a brass spacer, and then a piece of, yeah, I believe that's African cherry. Been a day or two since I made it. But anyway, like that, right there. And that is Damascus steel. So, you know, there we go. Yeah, that looks good. And I jimped around it, everything. And then, in the end of it, because this was a elk antler, it is a elk antler, I made a Damascus antler and put in it, and inlaid it in there, and put red epoxy around it. So, yeah, to make it pop, make it stand out right there. And, well, I was planning on doing that anyway, but it makes it a little easier to get it inlaid if you go bigger. You know, if you're going to do a colored epoxy. If you're not going to do a colored epoxy, then you want it as tight as you can. I done that on the, so I have the mate to this one, and the handle on another knife similar, with similar features, except the blade's finished different on it and everything, and the guard's not. Anyway, so I'm gonna buff this one up and take pictures of it and everything, put it on the Etsy store. I do believe maybe another week or two before I get that up and going. And I've been run to death going back and forth to doctors everywhere, so I haven't had time for this much. And when my animals has been sick, first one thing and another, so this knife business was kind of put on the back burner for a little bit. So anyway, till our next one, it's Bobby Shields saying thanks for your subscribing. Welcome all the new subscribers. Be sure to like, share, follow, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications when I make them. Hopefully I'll get them made a little bit quicker than this. I probably should have been doing a little bit more, but I hadn't been. So anyway, till next time, it's Bobby Shields, Dogbone Knives saying God bless.